What's up, everyone? Welcome back. This is the finals. Last match of the day. Big, big information on the line.
I am so hyped to get to do the finals. You have literally no idea, bro.
We've got two people on stream now who are people we've seen play earlier.
Yes.
We've got Kevin Zhao, who played, I believe, top 8. He played the Zoro match.
Yes.
He's our Zoro player. And we've got Jonathan from our round 4 here. He was on Luffy and just won against the law.
Okay, so we have two incredibly good competitors here taking it for the title.
Yeah. It's going to be
regardless
super
of
impressive.
what happens, these two made the finals in a massive event.
Yep.
852 players here. This is an insanely competitive scene. We have seen round after round of absolute slogs, and these two finalists just proving themselves to be the best in the field. And, I can't wait to see them begin. You ready?
Yeah, let's go into it.
Let's do it.
Believe we're shuffling up here, getting ready for our final round. Some finalist on finalist action.
And the handshake, just
That's
so
right.
courteous.
Both these players, incredible. We've seen them play super well in the earlier rounds, and I've caught glimpses of them playing out there in the field. They're both quite knowledgeable about the One Piece.
Yeah. Zoro, just a good call. Very strong in the meta recently. Ever since Set 2 really dropped, especially good recently against Whitebeard. Luffy, the kind of returning champion from Set 1.
Yeah.
We've seen countless times over the course of the regional this weekend, but it has been Set 1 leader versus Set 1 leader.
It
and
really
here
has
for the
been.
finals. Is it telling? I don't know. That tells a story.
Absolutely.
Two Set 1 leaders battling it out to see the champion of a very, very large regional in
Yes.
Set 2.
Also, a little bit of resurgence of Luffy this weekend. We've seen a lot more Luffy than I would have expected showing up today.
Yeah. The
And showing up
efficiency
well,
just
that
being
too.
incredible against Whitebeard. And you know what? Seeing it take down the other, kind of tier 2 decks that have been piloted specifically to beat Whitebeard this weekend, Luffy really putting up that efficiency just across the board.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, looks like we're keeping, and Zoro's going first, starting out with the Nami onto the field. Looking at a 5 here. What do you look for with the Namis?
Well, I'm looking for certainly more attackers. I want to be the more aggressive deck in this matchup. My characters are going to all be beefier than my opponents, although we're playing a very similar deck.
Yes.
They'll be more Dawn efficient, but I can go wider than they can, and I can represent more power overall. So I'm going to be trying to maximize that with more attackers or more searchers or anything like that.
Sure. We got Zoro to hand. Is what we saw. Adds to our second Zoro to that hand.
And playing Mass Deuce
Mass
just
Deuce,
so
very nice.
quickly. All right. First card played out of the Luffy deck is a Maskus Deuce.
Yes, right.
Mass Deuce is quite a card that we have seen multiple times on camera throughout the weekend.
Yes. I believe Yadam was playing
Yes.
a couple in his Luffy deck.
Seems like the Luffy decks are playing that right now. All right. And we play Magra. Swing for 5K here. And just get that early attacker going. 5K with the leader swing, then
Life.
5K with Nami. We're going to play Nami again. And Jet Pistol, Vista, Nico Robin,
Brooke and Gordon.
And
We're at the
take
Nico.
Robin. Nico Robin, very effective in
Yeah.
what looks to be somewhat of a mirror match here.
Yeah. Mass Deuce likes to eat the low power creatures, and you know what chomps on a Mass Deuce? Nico Robbins does.
Nico Robin, yeah. That's kind of the food chain out here.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. 4 Dawn on Luffy's side here. We're going to think about playing Vista on either the Magra or the Nami. Recalculate. Doing a lot of math. The next few turns are going to be very pivotal to both players.
That's right.
As whoever can get board dominance is going to be the victor in this match. Vista
Vista,
coming down, take out the Nami.
And then we can...
And I like that. It's kind of respecting that your opponent can go wider than you and have bigger attacks. So Matsu's going to come across, swing on the Nami, take out the Magra, and that will be a full board wipe and say, hey, you can play Nico Robin if you'd like, but it's going to be a little bit slow against what I'm doing.
Yes, definitely.
The posturing already.
We saw the Zoro out at the hand earlier, and we saw that Kevin here has another Zoro in hand. So it feels like there's aggression that can be had later in the game. Let's establish a little bit of board.
I love
Able
it.
to attack the Vista here. Ooh, a Dadan.
Curly to Dan. Oh, and we have access to the third Nami, Sunny-kun, also Makino, and
Makino.
another Magra.
Yeah.
There's a lot of juicy
Nami.
targets
Yeah,
for
Nami
this.
makes sense. Keep going. Down the chain.
And we are going to stack our deck appropriately. Top-level competitors are absolutely making sure that the bottom of their deck looks as good as the top. With so many searchers, it's very likely that you actually do see those
absolutely.
cards before
Yes.
the end of the game.
And playing out the Nico Robins as expected.
Right.
Looks like we got a Nami in the end of the hand there for
Do have a Nami.
for the Luffy there, so an option. Get an idea of what's going on with the top of the deck, inform our decision for later on.
Okay, and Luffy going to come across just for 5, trying to reduce life total.
Yep.
Possibly get cards out of our opponent's hand. And
Also get
that's
the
gonna
attack
a
in.
2K out. All right.
Yeah. You'd also rather get the attack in prior towards any triggers, so if your opponent was to just take life, you don't want to have something out that might die to a jet pistol or something.
Is that the only card, the Brook's the only card that counters out of Zoro right now?
There's 2 Zoros, the Brook. We added, Nami? Nami does counter.
Absolutely Nami. I don't know if he wants.
There's
I don't
an
know if he
event
would be
too.
willing to discard.
I wouldn't
Nami,
be.
though.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
But
And another Vista.
Vista's
wow.
very good
Otama
for the
Vista
Nico
gonna
Robin.
Take out the Nico Robin. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Whew.
Now we're not so worried about that attack coming back, and we can start pressuring ourselves instead, and swinging it back in our favor.
Yes, and that will take him down to 3 life, I believe. Okay, we're going to unrest the Zoro leader here. And we are going to draw.
We can get a couple of Zoro attacks in here. We can establish with our leader first if we need to.
And consider the hand first. We do have a Nami that we could play
Is the
before
event
we
there?
decide.
Is that a jet pistol?
Yes,
yeah.
correct.
Jet pistol could be okay too.
Okay.
It's not great because it is a lot of Dawn to take out some of these lower costed characters from the other side. But
Well, but it's important what it represents. You're going to be able to take down a 6K Luffy without needing to swing on it.
Yeah.
So preserve your, if you're going wider, certainly you'll have those attacks
Mhm.
to make on it if you'd like. But also, it represents clearing problematic creatures or characters without actually wasting attacks on your opponent's life, which is very important.
and we see
Double
the
Nico
full
Robin.
character dump.
Whoa, that is a massive turn.
Yeah.
And hey, we worked very hard. Otama Vista, the first Nico Robin. How about 2 more?
That's right. And we've even got the Gordon to go with it, saying, hey, even if you play a big thing, I'll be able to take care of it. That's no problem.
Absolutely. And we are definitely seeing 2 Zoro in hand from the Zoro player. And that is just going to represent a lot of attacks on the next turn.
Yeah.
And with Luffy down to 3, it's a little uphill. But Luffy full Dawn here. Let's see what he does.
Considering options.
Going to 8 Dawn. Certainly Jet Pistol of his own in hand. Definitely an easy path for clearing one of the Nico Robins for sure. Have to weigh the outcome of leaving Nico Robin on the table for multiple turns here. Certainly it will attack next turn, so you will have the option of swinging back on it. But that is very slow, and you lose characters along the way. So
You do.
You kind of have to weigh that the Jet Pistols pretty heavily. We have
Looks like
Otama as well.
Yeah.
And we are just going to
Okay,
Jet
Jet
Pistol
Pistol.
Nico Robin.
Yep, I think that's fine. Helps protect the
Do
board a
we
little
have Otama Vista for the other Nico Robin? I know we are holding Otama in hand. I can't tell if we have
bit.
Vista
We did it
for
once. Can we do it again?
That would be a really clutch swinging back. And I don't think we have it.
I'm unsure what's in the hand there.
I have a ton of lines. Certainly the Jet Pistol clearing one Nico Robin makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Coming across 5 on a
Okay.
3 for on the Dadan.
We're going to take care of a
And then we
curly
just
there.
let that go.
Okay.
Attach.
Let's go 5K.
Coming into the lead for another attack.
And
Down
that'll
to
take
2 life on the Zoro side.
9-gate pickup. 9-gate pickup to really pressure, and make it very hard for Luffy to swing up.
Yeah. See Makino played. Able to tap and add to the Nami to make that a 5K attacker coming across.
Mm-hmm. Really pressuring Zoro's life.
Mm-hmm. And still, the hand is not great for countering. Zoro, Newgate.
Yeah. It has been a little awkward with
And
countering out.
we actually pitched the Nami. That's how much
you
it's
kind of
been
have
pressured.
to. Going to 1 makes things very scary.
Yeah.
It's already a little bit intimidating to be at 2 here.
Yes.
Dipping below 3, very dangerous.
You are now untapping with the Nico Robins, so you have that nice little flexibility for you.
Absolutely. I mean, you're going to get to swing on the Vista, take out Nami, take out Makino. You have a lot of lines here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And double Zoro is going to make cleaning up the board here very nice as well.
Mm-hmm. You are still attacking into 2 Open Dawn, probably for things like Radical Beam.
Or a thing that we saw earlier out of Luffy, Red Hawk.
Oh, true. Yes, we did.
Yeah. And Red Hawk being, kind of impressive at clearing these little guys. We talked about Luffy's efficiency. Nothing really speaks to that more than a Red Hawk. Okay,
looks like we're using the Gordon, possibly.
We'd want to swing with the Gordon first, I believe.
Yeah. Could attack down the Makino there.
Okay.
Or we can just
put it down.
Okay.
And we are going to swing.
Swing on the Vista that we minus with the Gordon.
Possibly a way to play around the Red Hawk.
Yeah. And that Vista is the big creature on the other side that is the scariest.
Yes.
Once you're able to use your leader to attack down the Makino, then what does the opponent have? Just a Nami. Nami is good. Nami's not going to get you 3 life, though.
Okay, oh, wow. Played around the Red Hawk beautifully.
Yeah. That was a very nice play.
And we are losing Nico Robin. That is all 3 Nico Robins taken care of, though.
Yep.
A really powerful card, and the fact that Luffy was able to answer all 3 is a little bit scary.
It is very heads up, though, to use the Gordon to make sure that we get an extra card on top of this one, though, so that the Red Hawk can't just
exactly. Yeah, you don't, because I think the consideration was I either Gordon first, or if I attack with Gordon first, he's going to be able to Red Hawk my Nico Robin, and if I use it now, if I swing with Nico Robin first, of course I don't get my Gordon, so just go ahead and get both of those. A very heads up play for sure. And Newgate's going to come down, making Zoro a 7K. 7K swings on Vista. Or is that on the Makino?
Swung
on the Makino.
Yeah, and now we see our other side plays it.
If you try to reclaim the board with Newgate with 0 characters, I have 3 characters. What if I play Newgate in my own?
Attack for 7K is even on the other side, but we know counter power is light from Kevin's hand right now.
It goes down to 1, so it is going to look kind of hard to survive on the following turn. Let's see if Zoro is able to do so. Okay, we are swinging with Newgate. Take our opponent down to 2.
I think it's definitely going to be important to get some life out of my opponent this turn.
Something to note, though. Still both Zoros in hand. Okay, another Newgate. Gonna make him 7K leader.
A 1K gets out because of the Newgate on the other side. Looks like we're holding up Radical Beam from the Zoro side here.
Yep. Counter power a little bit.
Double Zoro in hand is still a little bit slow, but yeah.
Nami and Otama, and really even Vista too, are really not attackers this turn without wasting a lot of Dawn efficiency. So we're going to swing for 12 here. Or 11, sorry about that. If we're able to get out of this, though, then the Luffy will have a hard time dealing lethal damage. I think this one's pretty important to get out of if possible. Otherwise, it is a very large attack coming from the Luffy.
And a lot of this game feels like counter power has been light for Kevin. I think a lot of it might actually come back to that early play where he added Zoro to hand from the Nami. That Zoro has not done anything yet.
Yes.
We've instead just had that card in our hand, and it hasn't been counter power either, which kind of feels bad.
But with an opponent at 2, and you're coming back on your turn, with no Newgate effect anymore, so that is just a 5K Luffy. If we can survive this turn, it looks a lot like double Zoro might actually close the game.
Yeah.
Especially 2 Newgates. I mean, that is impressive.
But not enough. Vista attacks in for a lot.
A lot, yes.
A lot, and is able to finish it.
All right, and that is game 1 to Jonathan.
Yeah, Luffy showing a little bit of strength by being able to answer all the Nico Robins coming out of Zoro. That was also a very pivotal point in this game, I think. Losing the Nico Robin to the Otama Vista and then losing the other one to the Jet Pistol really slowed down what Kevin was going to be able to do against the Luffy board.
Yeah, so Zoro definitely wanted to go wide, and the Nico Robins are the one thing they do is control your opponent's board very nicely. They're a nice threat. Unfortunately, your deck is heavy, very heavy on the 1-cost characters, and when you play Nico Robin, it costs 3, so you're actually committing a lot of Dawn into that.
Absolutely.
And it can look a lot like when you in different decks when you play a 5-cost character and they just are able to Jet Pistol it. If you are clearing the 3 drops Nico Robins, that is going to slow down Kevin quite a bit. And that's what we saw there. He was very fortunate to have all 3 Nico Robins on the table, and Jonathan just being able to clear every single one of them is the incredible counter to that.
Yeah, I think so. So we're shuffling up for round 2. These are best of 3 matches. Since Jonathan won game 1 here, Kevin will get to decide for game 2 who goes first, who goes second. Nice little addition for the best of 3s.
Yep. Also a very heads-up Red Hawk play. That was
very much.
Yes.
Yeah, that was very clutch. I didn't realize it in the moment, but yes, that's exactly why he did it.
Kevin saying, "Hey, I know I'm losing here, but I'm aware of what's happening.
Yeah,
you're not getting one on me for sure. I'm gonna fight."
Yeah, from the Zoro hand, it looked like we didn't have a lot of early plays. We had some counter power. We had an Otama. Maybe a Dan there, but nothing like a Nami or a Sunny Kun or anything like that that might help us attack in those early turns.
Let me see Mass Deuce and Luffy's hand again.
Yeah, that was
very
scary.
Card, yeah.
Very scary.
Yeah, that was one of the early contributors to clearing Kevin's board, being able to swing with Mass Deuce on a character and then just free kill a second along the way. It did its best impression of Nico Robin there.
All right, get our 5 life going. Here we go. Gordon.
Okay. Double Zoro,
Nami. Very nice.
Yep, Gordon.
Make our Dawn.
Into an event.
And then Nami is out. What are we looking for? Looking for those early things again.
All right, well, we've got access to Jet Pistol there and a Sunny Kun. Okay,
Sunny Kun?
taking the
Sure.
Sunny Kun. Maybe this is the go wide approach. We don't have access to all the Nico Robins, so. All right,
and there is the Mass Deuce.
Yep. Very strong card in game 1. Of course, leading on it in game 2.
Yeah, feels good. Attack for 5.
We're just gonna take that.
There's a Zoro coming in. We didn't get to play any Zoros last time, and we want to play them now. Damn it.
Well, it's a little bit different. A little bit of different of a setup. I mean, Nico Robin was incredible to lean on in game 1. It was very unfortunate that we had answers for every single one of them. Otherwise, we would have seen that Nico Robin tear up Luffy in a way that Mass Deuce is about to tear up Zoro.
Yeah, that's right.
And we
attack for 5.
Yep.
I assume on the Zoro, but either way, I'm sure the thing will be counted out here.
Which Zoro?
True, which Zoro, yes. The character Zoro, my bad.
Yes.
Announce 5 for the Dawn.
Important ruling clarification at the start of the tournament today, and yesterday. When you play Curly Dan, you do have to declare the number that you will reveal, 0 to 5.
That is in. We added Otama to hand. And now Otama.
Okay, I really like the Otama on the
Zoro.
Zoro, yeah. Make it a 3K. Does commit attacks on the Zoro, but that's okay. You have to pay a Dawn.
It's fine.
And
add the 2 Dawn.
Yep.
Attack down the Zoro. Blow up the Nami. Hey-yo. That's gone. Clear board from the Zoro again. Attack for 6.
Saw a little bit of a quiver from Jonathan as he played the Otama, had to tap 1, and then was like, wait a second, I don't actually have the Dawn I need for the Mass Deuce attack, and then remembering, oh wait,
yeah, I have the
Luffy ability. That definitely in the finals here can get a little bit hairy. You've been playing 2 full days of tournaments.
That's right.
It is rough.
A lot of mental power to be able to play this many games.
But players still, playing extremely competitively.
Oh, yes.
And, oh man, the amount of thinking and math that goes into all of these attacks.
Attack for 5 on the character Zoro. Sunny Kun being pitched again. Save it. We do see the 9 gate, the hand of Zoro there. And Nami coming down from Luffy. Let's see what some options are. I see
Jet
Nico
pistol,
Robbins.
Jet pistol behind the Nico. Well, the jet pistol is certainly a way to clear the Zoro, but you know, without you also have your attacks for the turn.
Yeah, you have plenty of attacks that I think
full
can get through
Dawn,
there.
yeah. Jet pistol backup for jet pistol is a good way to clear Nico Robin, and I think it's an answer, but
okay.
you know, I don't know. I'm not sure which situations jet pistol's #1 answer, but the other options in the hand are on the top of the deck did not look great.
Yeah, that's fair.
Jet pistol pickup definitely going to come. Put that one in the tool belt for later.
Yeah, it loses a little bit of power when your opponent knows that you have it in hand, but yeah. Considering options, we could play that here to get rid of the Zoro. I think I like attacking instead.
Jet pistols.
Force our opponent's hand down, but we do see it.
Well,
that's why they're in the tournament and I'm not.
This is going to be an attack for 5 on the leader. So being able to aggro down, that's going to take Kevin down to 4 life if he decides to take that, which I think he will.
In the hand, it looks like Gordon, an event, and another card I'm unsure about. Not a lot of counter power. 3 cards.
Luffy's ability of efficiency definitely being checked right now. Kevin just making sure that, that we did actually use the Luffy ability in order to put 2 down on the Curly Dan.
We're untapping from the Zoro side.
And
still not at 9
Nico Robin for the turn.
Definitely good. And that's probably the play for the turn. Attack Zoro in at the lead. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Play the Nico Robbins. Yep. Play the Gordon, and I think we're holding up a Radical Beam as the event there.
Yes. So we are now pressuring anything on the board here. Otama's looking like a good target for Nico Robbins.
Absolutely. Attack for 5, come across the table. At the lead.
If you're Jonathan here, you are trying to just keep up pressure.
You try to keep up pressure, but you also need to answer the board a little bit. Gordon plus Nico Robbins is obviously quite strong.
That was a really good turn from Kevin. We do need to break that. We are on.
I think there's a 9 gate from the hand of the Zoro too. I'm a little bit unsure.
Yes, that will be coming down on the next turn.
But that'll be exactly. That'll be coming down next turn. So.
And if Gordon isn't used for the Nico Robin, Gordon will be a very good removal piece for the 9 gate on the following turn.
Absolutely. Luffy considering what is the best use of Dawn here. You got to do that Luffy math. It's not quite blue math, but Luffy math. You got to use that extra Dawn somehow, right?
No, but your hand is a little bit clunky against Zoro's leader ability, and you just have to make sure that your sequencing is correct against the Nico Robin. Things get out of control very quickly.
Oh, absolutely. So we're posturing out some Dawn there. 3 was the first amount.
Also calculating, how do I sequence this against 9 gate on the following turn so that when it passes back to me, I have the strongest.
Right.
Again, with playing a super efficient leader like Luffy, that does also mean that your plays have to line up perfectly to actually utilize that extra Dawn. And obviously, Jonathan in the finals here, very good at that. So
yeah, we've seen that on coverage a couple times. The Luffy players winning the games just barely by an extra 1,000 or 2,000 pitch. So all of those attacks do really matter in these last matches with the Luffy.
So a lot of nerves in the finals, for sure.
Oh, absolutely. I can't imagine that.
Okay.
So Makino comes down.
Makino buffing the Nami. We are going to make that a 7K come across the table.
That uses the Luffy power here.
Yes. So that puts Kevin down to 3. Luffy coming down.
Rush Luffy, sure.
All right, that is a good use of our Dawn here. And we are going to swing for 7 again. Luffy goes to 2.
And now you set it up where if the 9 beard does come down, it might not be enough. It's good, but you're going to 9 Dawn. You're not going to be able to use the Nico Robbins because you won't have the Dawn attached to it. And
No Dawn left open this turn, so Gordon is going to get to attack the Makino, and Nico Robin going to probably swing on the Nami and get to take out Curly Dadan. So we're going to pass back to Jonathan with a Luffy and an Otama on the board. Not much else against a 9-gate. His opponent's at 2. We could, and obviously the Zoro will be at a 7K.
Yeah.
Gordon swings.
And then we're going to use the Gordon on the Luffy. Yep.
Decrease the Luffy. Luffy goes down to 4K. We're just going to swing on Luffy. Okay.
Sure. And even swing a 4K to 4K to 3K. And then there is the 9-gate.
And this is going to be a 7K on Luffy. Okay, went face.
Okay. So coming back, we've still got our Luffy. We've still got a couple characters on the board that can attack, but getting up to 7K to be able to attack through the Whitebeard ability is tough with things like Nami and Dadan. You would need Makinos, but it seems like those have gone away.
It's a little bit tight, but you do have access to clear the Nami or clear the Nico Robin this turn.
I think that's priority
and then
1.
You need to protect yourself against either a 10K swing or 15K swing.
Yeah.
So you need to be able to counter out next turn. Playing Newgate of your own with Radical Beam open, that is one way to get out of those attacks.
This is the second game in the row, too, where we've seen Zoro 9-gate into Luffy 9-gate.
Yes.
And then Luffy won the match ultimately.
We saw how that played out last game.
Yeah. It's a good move. Buys you a little bit of time, but the attacker has to come back and really pressure down the board.
It should be 7 on Nico Robin here.
Yeah, I think that is correct.
Okay.
I don't think you can counter out of this. I think you let it die, which is sad. And you can attack here to pressure down. This is an even swing.
Take Zoro down to 1 life.
Yep.
Zoro will counter out. 7K as well. And we have the 1 Dawn open. Okay. And this is the efficiency that Luffy is all about, right?
Yep.
You need to leave the Radical Beam open. You also want to get that other attack in. Leader ability on the 5-cost Luffy. Swing for 7. It's the enabler. That attack literally could not happen from any other deck.
Yeah. And now we're trying to portion out some mana, some Dawn rather. Dawn can be used on the Newgate to blow up something. We can see the jet pistol here. Yep. Take out the Luffy.
Jet pistol on Luffy, exactly how you drew up the jet pistol in this matchup.
Yeah. Probably attach 2 Dawn here.
Now the jet pistol on the Luffy does break the amount of power that you have overall for the turn.
Yes.
So that is definitely a consideration before playing the jet pistol. Your attacks are a lot softer now.
Considering the correct amount for this Dawn math.
So we are going to come across 7K at the 7K Luffy. It's going to require 1K power to get out. And we are just going to...
Taking it means the Newgate could swing in. You have to get out of that attack.
Newgate would swing for 14K. That would be a very large attack. Just going to want to K out. All right. And now Newgate's going to swing for 12. Destroy the Nami.
Makes sense.
And I think we have to just take this one.
That is also fine. Okay, we'll go back to our turn and draw. 2 life left on Zoro. We've got a couple attacks here. We are at 5K at the Zoro lead with 2 Dawn open, which means representing 2 different events, probably 2 Radical Beams, Red Hawks things.
Could be Red Hawk. Most likely not going to be Red Hawk.
I think it was Radical Beam from earlier than what I saw.
Yes,
but
exactly. Zoro don't think plays Red Hawk in his deck. Okay, and that is going to be a 5K over a 1K counter out.
With the last card countering too, it definitely makes this turn even tougher. Because now we're going to protection mode.
Yes.
We are at no life left. Zoro's going to be, at minimum, come across for 15K. Can you block it? Looks like we're holding up Rush Luffy there. Rush Luffy would be another attack. Would be kind of nice.
Plenty of other cards in hand, though. But if he wants that additional attack this turn, it could be Rush Luffy. Now, do you play the Luffy to the table, or do you just get in with your Curly Dadan?
You could. You could attack with the Curly Dadan. Not a problem there. Now that you know 2 cards are left in the hand for the Zoro player, and you have 2 Dawn open, if those are both events, you don't want to waste events on what would be an equal swing attack of 5K to 5K. So pressuring any higher would probably be wrong.
if you think that your opponent's hand is 2 Radical Beams, is it worth it to put 2 Dawn on Curly Dan and just swing for 5?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So we may see something like that.
Yes.
Come down and take 1 of the life just easily.
So if the Dan were to come across, Luffy were to come across, that'd be 2 attacks in. Newgate would be the 3rd one. Assuming we can get out of 1 of these attacks, probably 2, means we probably can't kill our opponent this turn.
I think killing this opponent this turn is going to be very difficult from 2 life.
Yeah.
Especially when representing 2 Radical Beams. That is quite a bit. Consider that both cards could probably counter as well.
True. A lot of cards in the hand for the Luffy player. A lot of things to consider, though.
Yes. Well, it's a very critical turn. I think this is one of those put him on Gotta Have It, where if you don't take out your opponent will take you out.
True.
So you could certainly clear 9 gate on your opponent's turn, but then how do you defend against the 15k Zoro swing?
Yeah.
So we do see the Curly to Dan attack. If we are putting them on both Radical Beams, so that makes the most sense to me. 3, 6, 8 Dawn left. With the Luffy ability as well, so we do have access to still 9 Dawn. So this attack here, because of the Luffy ability, technically it costs 2, but realistically it only costs 1 here.
Okay, and the 5k did come across for a life. We got the Luffy coming in, attached from our Luffy leader, our Rested Dawn.
Attack for 7 here. And we're going to make that a 9k, so that will cost the Zoro player. Okay, and we are going 10k here. 10K,
Makes sense.
10k coming across. We take it, and can 10k kill you? Radical Beam. With an Otama, go to 12k. Okay.
Back to Zoro.
And that's a quick concede. All right.
Attach the Dawn.
All right, Kevin takes it.
Wow. Coming down to the wire for these 2 players. We're now 1-1 in the match. I think the Luffy did it almost perfectly in that last round.
Yes.
Better than I envisioned it myself.
Yes. Very, very tight. Having the discipline to match the 9 gate with your own 9 gate, especially when you're staring down several attacks and only 1 Dawn open after that, tough. But you are pressuring your opponent's cards. It came down to basically, does every card in your hand counter? Because if not, you lose.
Yeah.
And those situations are only brought to you by Luffy, thanks to that ability.
That extra 1 Dawn seems small, but it is pretty clutch.
Well, we see it impact the board heavily. When you play like Curly to Dan, now suddenly that 1 extra Dawn is enabling you to attack. On the previous turn, Luffy was a 6k. Because of your leader ability, you could attach it, make it a 7k, and that actually enables an entire card being discarded from your opponent because the Zoro leader was at 7k thanks to the 9 gate.
That's right.
So very complex turns, and Luffy his ability paying off every single turn and enabling things that should be just out of reach.
Yep.
All right, Jonathan's going to decide who goes first this game, and this is it. We are going to see a face-off in Game 3. I believe every single game in Top 32 that's been on the feature match has been going to Game 3. That's tight. That's a lot of One Piece today.
Yeah, it's a lot of One Piece for sure. All right. Sizing up the hands.
See if Jonathan can shake some of those nerves.
What do we got? Adding life out. Okay. Beautiful. All right. We are ready to go for Game 3 then. Jonathan flipping out the Dawn, and we have a pass. I built it up.
Okay, and Zoro is on a very fast Nami play.
Gordon, Otama, Ninebeard, Vista.
Oh, and that looks like a
Daga?
whiff. We're just going to restack the top 5 and move along. Nothing to see here.
Sad. That is pretty sad from a Nami.
But that's okay. I mean, you play the Nami, you have Sunny Kun to back up.
Sunny Kun's pretty good.
You have a very aggressive start so far. This is the first time we're seeing Sunny Kun touch the board, opted to not put in her hand with an early search in Game 1. Game 3, Vista is going to catch the Sunny Kun. And, maybe that's why he's opted to not put it on the table before this moment.
across for the
recognizing
6K.
this is a very vistable target.
Yes. I think I saw Nico Robbins get added to hand there, which likely would be a good play this turn. Come across for 5, take.
And we are just going to take that 5K swing.
Vista, or I'm sorry, Nico Robbins, and pass.
Well, let's be honest. Nico Robin is just Vista in disguise.
it is
Set 1 Vista.
Set 1 Vista.
All right. We have our Nico Robin on Luffy's side here. You know, a card that have we seen Luffy play Nico Robin in this set yet? I don't think so. I think it's been all Vistas.
I don't remember it today. I remember Mask Deuce and Vista today, but
yeah, Mask Deuce doing a really good impression of Nico Robin, but
yes,
the card itself is about to touch down. Let's see if we can deal with the Nico Robin first. And we're just going to put Curly Dan on the table. Look at the top 5. I believe he declared for 5.
Yep. And adding Otama makes sense. If the plan is to play Nico Robbins this turn, Otama pairs obviously pretty well.
I think Otama being one of the absolute best cards Curly Dan has access to. Adding it to hand when you see it in Game 3 of the finals of an 852-player regional makes a lot of sense to me.
Oh, he has also a Zoro in hand. That's an interesting thought, too. Could play a Zoro for the turn and attack in. Playing around what would hopefully be what you would expect an Otama from your opponent or some other Gordon-type effect where you get minus, and we see the Otama at the front of the hand.
And a Curly Dan to possibly add another one. And we are holding 2 Otamas as well.
But you'd play around playing your own Nico Robbins into that effect for the turn here, but with the Zoro play. Zoro would eat it instead, but that's okay.
Okay,
instead,
Vista coming across for everything we got. And that takes Zoro down to 2, I believe. That's a very aggressive start from Luffy in Game 3 here. And before Zoro has a chance really to build up the board, so you know that could be that could pay dividends.
Yep, but we are going to start clearing things here. Nami comes in and swings evenly on the Vista with the Zoro ability, and then Nico Robbins coming in and eating.
That is an attack for 6.
Yep.
From Nico Robin. And swings 6 from the Zoro as well. Will we see Luffy go to 2? We will not. Otama countering out for 2K. And Curly Dan here. Coming in. Hopefully we don't see another with. Okay. There's a Magra. Magra and Sunny-kun here. For a moment there, I got a little worried after the Nami whiff.
It can't keep happening.
That is not what we want to see in Game 3 here.
Considering which might be better.
And Sunny-kun is what we want to see in Game 3 here, so that will be added to hand.
I like it.
And we're just going to go ahead and play that.
Plays out another powerful 1-drop. And, oh, Gordon, too. We've got the full board. The law package is set up.
And Jonathan's board is completely clear here, staring down a full suite of the 1K special.
The 1K special?
The 1 Dawn special.
The 1 Dawn special, I see.
That's right.
Okay.
Sorry.
Luffy ability.
Okay.
Attaching up and coming in.
6 on the Nico Robin. We'll take Nico Robin down. And that is one problem solved. And you have Zoro on the table. Zoro going to come across, probably take down the Nami as well.
You could go to life. There's a reason that you could decide pivoting towards life here.
Yes.
Because your opponent has built up a board at this point that is difficult to work completely through. And it looks like that's what's happening here.
Okay. 5K swing on the Zoro leader was met with a 1K counter out with Curly Dan. And Nico Robin touches down for Luffy.
Yep. And now our own Nico Robbins won't get eaten by theirs with the Otama that was in hand previously.
And with 4 characters on the board, we are going to start the turn with 1 Dawn under the Zoro. We know exactly where that one's going.
Yeah, don't confuse that one. Looks like that's 3 Otamas, too. That's a lot of counter power.
Luffy brought the efficiency. Zoro brought the respect. Maybe he left respect at home. He took it back off.
There we go. Right where it belongs.
Definitely packed it.
Gordon effect on the Zoro. Look to see probably a couple attacks on the Zoro here this turn. Or at least one, and we decide that there will be too many attacks. We have to give it up.
Will we see an attack on the Zoro? Or are we looking to Vista this turn?
I think the Nami attack, yeah.
Nami swing 3K on the 3K. Okay, and that's going to take down that Nami versus Zoro fight. We did not have money on Nami, but there she goes
The Don coming in
for 5K.
5K.
And that puts Luffy down to 2. Jet pistol trigger with the... Oh, the crowd goes wild.
Triggers always feel
Sunny Kun down.
bad.
Very swingy.
It's a very cool part of the game, but man, sometimes definitely
a powerful
cool
effect here in
yeah.
Game 3. And Zoro going to come across for 7, meet with a Radical Beam, counter out.
And Nico Robbins, okay, sure, yeah.
Okay, and once again, Jonathan is starting his turn with no board. And 9K going to come down with 2 life. That puts Zoro, or that puts Luffy as a 7K leader right now.
Mm-hmm.
Going to come across for 8.
Luffy attack.
Will that be on leader or Curly to Dan?
I think it's supposed to be on lead here.
I like the leader attack here quite a bit.
That would mean on the next turn you would have leader attack plus the 9-gate attack, which is pretty big.
Yeah, taking your opponent down to 1, and he is going to go to 1. Now, Zoro, something to note, has a lot of 2Ks in hand, so he will be able to survive one of these attacks on the following turn. But how long can he do that for? We do have a very stacked hand, though.
Oh, yeah.
Notably, though, not many of them attack, so it's going to be quite difficult to keep up with this new gate on the following turn.
So we're going in for 9K across the table.
And that takes Luffy down to 1 potentially.
And the life has been taken.
Realizing not many 2K counters in Luffy's hand here, so those 9K swings are actually a little vicious. And we are going to go potentially see Curly to Dan swing for 5.
5 would not be enough. The new gate ability is buffing it up to 7 right now.
Puts it at 7. Yep. Okay,
the rest of it
is big.
That's just a declaration of my hand is counter power now.
Yes. Well, and that's kind of true. We do see that. We are going to get out of that by going to 11K. Okay.
All right.
And now we say, can you survive 2 enormous attacks? With Luffy at 1, this is a very tense conclusion to Game 3.
There is a lot of counter power from the Zoro hand.
2Ks, yeah. Nami coming down.
Nami start, okay.
Let's see if we can get more attackers to clear some of these 2Ks out.
And
a
whiff.
That is a Nami whiff in what could be one of the final turns of the game. Now, we could full clear Zoro, and without a rush character, being at 1 could mean that you actually survive a turn. So we could see, one Dawn on the... Or we could see, another Dawn added to Newgate. Newgate swing for quite a bit here. 12K come across, take out the take out the Nami. Yes.
Yeah.
We are going to take out the Nami. We can attack the Curly Dedan down.
Yeah. Also, Makino coming down later would be able to buff the Nami, not be able to buff the Dedan.
Correct. Yeah. Very very smart consideration, as it is one of the 2Ks that he could possibly be holding right now.
Considering, do I take this one? Do I take the next one? And it looks like we're taking this.
It's all going for the next one.
And it looks like this is our attack.
That is a big attack. Can we get out of it?
I think so.
That is for
9, 11, 13, 15.
15.
Wow.
That is a counter out for 15. And we are going to untap and see. Can we
Zoro
do the same thing again?
do it right back?
We need a lot of power here. It is definitely time to put him on. Gotta have it. Okay, how big? This is so tense. If Jonathan is able to counter out of a 9K swing, I think he will have it.
We're just countering the amount of power here, make sure we're doing the math correctly.
Yes, super important to check here, but regardless, it will be very difficult to clear the new gate, and on the following turn, it will be almost impossible to counter out of a 15K Luffy swing.
All right.
And
so
the frustrated slam down,
8.
Okay, can we get out of it?
That's the entire hand.
He countered out, and that is the entire match. That was it.
Yeah, we can come across, deal that last point.
Jonathan
That's
G.
the game.
That is a Luffy victory. Hell
Wow, crazy.
yeah. All right.
The crowd going wild there.
Luffy defeating Zoro.
Wow.
That is absolutely the meta call for
Yeah.
the day. Wow. And Jonathan, was able to shake the nerves in game 3 and
Yeah.
and capitalize on all of that. Guys, that is and I will say this, stunning conclusion to the finals here. After two days of competition,
Yeah.
these competitors are worn out and exhausted, and they definitely deserve the break. So shout out to Jonathan, the victor today with Luffy. It has been an incredible set of games this weekend.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, that does it for us. We will hopefully have some interviews for you posted on the channel, so stay tuned over the weekend and into early next week as those get posted and go live. And if you're just tuning in for just this game, go back and check out the tournament. It's been an exciting weekend. Tons of matches were played. You can catch a lot of One Piece here on the channel.
Yeah.
And if you're new here, please hit subscribe, and we hope you enjoyed the commentary from Three Swords Productions. That's it from us, guys. We will see you in the next one.